Making everyday people look their best is our topic in today's coffee break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. Hello everyone. Here we have a great image of a uncle and a niece, actually a great niece, at a party I photographed. Now, here's the original, and this is what we're going to do to it. So let's start from the history tab, and I want to come down and select the original. So the first thing I like to do is look at the image and think what bothers me the most about this image. And in this case right here, the crop. So we want to get rid of the person in the scene here. So I'm going to press the keyboard shortcut C for crop. And I just want to bring it in, up a little bit. That little bit here doesn't bother me that much. I could, which I will rotate just a little. That's it, and continue bringing it in. Now, I have no problem cutting off parts of the head. I actually kind of like that. So I'll put it right about here, because I want to put her eye right on the rules of third. All right? So this looks good. Again, crop it the way you like it. This I have no problem with. And I'm going to select it. So here we are with the image. Now, a couple things I want to do to it. First, let's start with Enhance AI. So Accent AI, that one little slider, look at this, will automatically improve color, detail, tone, and depth of the image. Now I'm going to come down to the Light tool, and from here, I want to adjust my black tones to make it look a little richer, and increase the whites. Now I could, let's try this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit tighter, and I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool, and typically I'll have a gray card, but since I don't have one, I want to touch on just the white of the eye here for a neutral gray, and that looks pretty good. And I can adjust the different camera profiles. Let's see what this one looks like. So this was shot with an Nikon D700, almost like, God, a little over 10 years ago. All right, so far that's looking really good. So before, after, I'm getting into developing the image. Now, since it's a portrait, let's do a couple things. I'm going to come down first to details, and I want to bump up the details just a bit, and the small details, just to give it an appearance of making it sharper. Now, I know this isn't a landscape, but since this is shot with backlit, let's see what dehaze does for us. Oh, look at that. Look how dehaze is actually helping with the skin tones. So that's good. Now we can come down to the portrait tools. I'm dealing with two faces. So look at this, both faces. And I just want to show you with the Light tool. So it does recognize both faces. Because this was shot with a 50mm lens, I want to slim the face on both of them quite a bit. And the angle I shot it at made them look a little bit wider. Let's see, for the eyes, he's squinting. So we're really going to focus on her eyes. So let's come over here to Iris Enhance. I really want to bring that out. And let's pop a little iris flare in there. Good, it's getting there. And now we're going to improve the eyebrows. Notice hers already are hidden with her hair. His eyebrows, look at that. It just adds a little punch to it. And then we'll remove some of the dark circles under the eyes. Great. Now you'll notice something here again, when Luminar is lit, when you see the Luminar blue going through, it means it's processing the image. All right, so let's see what we have so far. Here's before. Look at that, that's after. And let's zoom out, give it a second to refresh. So here we are like this. All right, I like that a lot. And let's see what else we can do to it. So the face is looking great. Let's come down here to the skin. And I want to enhance the skin generously. Now, shine removal. I'm going to apply some of it, but look what's happening to it, especially on her. If I go too much, it takes away all that shine. Well, let's not do that. Let's bring it back just a little bit because I want to add the structure to her face. And last but not least, we'll come up to the Vignette Tool. And I'm going to add, now you know what? So I could add a darker vignette, or let's embrace that it's blown out, and let's embrace the white. Look at that. Let's bring it out just like this. There we go. And there we have it. All right, so before and after. Now, let's do this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can actually see the image. Now, the image itself, now this is a little extra bonus because we did all this in less than 3 minutes, so it was a real quick bonus. Notice this was shot on a Dutch angle or a Dutch tilt. In fact, I embraced that throughout the entire set of images that I photographed. Let me go back up to here. So I did embrace that on all of the images, on the images that I shot. Let me get back to everyday people. There we go. Notice it's on an angle. Now the room itself we were in was horribly lit, but I wanted to try like with that Dutch angle, and this is where it worked perfectly because, well, let's go right back to the beginning. Look close at both of them. It appears that he's leaning into her, but in reality, once I hit reset, she's actually leaning into him. Now, when I saw that in the camera, it didn't look right. You know, typically we have the older gentleman here, the younger girl here, and let me try to get right there, and she was higher than he was. Now, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but subconsciously, you think, you know, when you're looking at an image like this, you think, let me get to the bottom of it, right here, you automatically put the older person, you elevate them a little bit higher. So you see how this is again? I'm going to crop this or straighten it to where what it would look like had I have shot in straight. So press C for crop, and look right about there. So you see how I straightened it up? So there's that line right here that shows me. Now, when you do it like this, if I were to shoot this, if I shot this straight on, look how she looks taller than he looks. It kind of changes the whole dynamic of the photo. She's leaning into him. She's coming to him. Well, the way I did it earlier, let's get back to it, is I made it to look to where it looked like, I don't know, see, I look at this, for me, it's not as dramatic enough, all right? I like it, him leaning into her. I just like that feeling that she's being the foundation or being stable in the shot, and he's bringing his love and energy towards her. Again, it's just something, as a photographer, you have to decide when you're taking images like this, how you want it to portray. So that was just a little extra bonus on how I got the shot. So when you're photographing again, look at it, shoot it straight on, maybe a Dutch tilt or a Dutch angle. Get creative when you're photographing, and then bring it into Luminar AI and enhance it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And let me pull up the comments real quick. Yes, yeah, we are doing a lot more on Luminar AI because for the last year and a half, we did a ton of Luminar 4 tutorials. So you could check, and thank you, Russell, check YouTube under the Luminar 4 playlist, and you'll see hundreds and hundreds of tutorials that we did for Luminar 4. All right? Thanks, Russell, for bringing that out, and thank you so much for joining us today. And I'll see all of you at the next coffee break.